Okay. So unlike other programs, i.Invest is a business development and mentoring program. To participate, each applicant has to have a demonstrable product or service, and they have to be between the ages of 13 to 19 years old. There are no restrictions on geographical locations, on an entrepreneurship program affiliation, or GPA. We are looking for great products and future leaders with entrepreneurial know-how. So to make it to this point in the competition, each of the applicants had to commit to 3 rounds of scoring. Round 1 is where the applicants submitted a 35-question concept profile. They also had to submit an executive summary and pitch video. Round 2, applicants had to complete 2 mandatory rounds of virtual group coaching and 1 optional or several optional one-on-one coaching sessions with selected judges. Afterwards, they were required to submit a minimum of 11 pages of a business plan and to revise their pitch video if they so choose to do so. Round 3 takes place tonight, where we will finally know who is the i.Invest Youth Business of the Year. Our winners will walk away with cash prizes as well as in-kind prizes. So with that said, let's talk a little bit about, this is what we were talking about before, about the commitment, you know, that round 1, round 2, and round 3 commitment. So when you have youth 13 to 19 years old that are willing to make a commitment of 6 months to learning about business, they're very dedicated. And I'm just ecstatic about the commitment that I've seen, the fact that these youth completed all of their requirements. They were on every call. They participated in their one-on-one sessions. They participated in group coaching, and they submitted all of their material on time. And that's huge. I have an 11-year-old, and I tell you, it's hard to get them to do anything for 6 months. So I'm very excited to have been able to mentor them and to get to know them. So when we talk about some of the additional requirements, I must stop and thank the people who made the group coaching, the mentoring possible. This year we had group coaches, Desiree Young from Venture Walk. We also had Ryan McHaney from Build My Idea, who's also a judge tonight. And I want to tell you, thank you. You guys did a fantastic job. The youth walked away with a lot of great information, and I just hope that you continue to partner with us. I also want to thank Dr. Dennis Martin from Martin Financial, who provided information for our i.Invest Knowledge Center, and we'll talk a little bit about that later, and Dr. Carr, who participated with not only our group sessions, but who also added some great insights and worked with some of the youth on with one-on-one mentoring. I would also like to recognize Dr. Mansour Hassab, who is the Cybersecurity Program Director at the University of Maryland University Center, who also added information to our Knowledge Center. And what the Knowledge Center is just what I said. It's where we just dump a lot of information, PowerPoints about leadership, about product development, where we talk about patents. I know Martha, who's on the call also as one of our judges last year, she pulled together the most fantastic presentation on patents. And so this information is out there for all youth, not just the youth participating in the competition, but for anyone who needs to kind of learn more about the business development process. We put it on our website, and everyone's welcome to go in, to take a look at it, and to use it as needed. I also want to take this time to recognize our sponsors. And this is, I'm sure, the screen the kids love to see. Somebody's going to walk away with $2,000 tonight. We won't announce the winner tonight, but we will announce the winner over the next 2 days via press release, and we'll notify the winners over the next couple of days as well. But yet and still, our top winner will walk away with $2,000 cash and in-kind prizes. Our second place, $1,000. Our third, $500, and we will have a fourth place winner, which is a Community Investment Award for $250. And the people, the organizations that make this thing possible are right here on the screen. I wanted to recognize On the Set Summer Film Camp, which is it's founded by David Tucker, who is a filmmaker in Birmingham, Alabama. He actually made a very nice contribution to making sure that this year we have prizes for our winners. And We also have some in-kind projects from Blue Tree Allied Angels out of Pittsburgh, PR Solutions, which is a company that I own, Sharon Law offices in Pittsburgh, and I for Change, which is out of the Baltimore area, out of one of the universities, Morgan State University. I would also like to recognize our community supporters. These are people who gave $29 or bought t-shirts and helped us to kind of get the word out. We really appreciate their work. Nicole Martin from Virginia, Pam Cook from Birmingham, and Quincy Leonard, who owns Leo's Golf Academy for Youth out of Montgomery, Alabama. So what's been happening over the last year? We started last year, and what was so amazing about last year's competition, it was our first year doing it. The winner of the competition was out of the Baltimore area, 19-year-old gentleman who's attended Johns Hopkins University, started a company using an algorithm to help people with mental illness connect with therapists anonymously via their smartphones and other devices. He went on to raise $250,000, over $250,000, and to hire staff for his company in Baltimore, and hopefully we'll be hiring staff for a new facility that he's opening up in Boston. So this is a 19-year-old, and that's what this competition is really about. Now, I can't sit here and take credit for his success. He came to us as brilliant as all of the youth that are participating, so we can't take credit for their success, but we can say that we touched them, we helped them, we are here to mentor with them. And what's so exciting is the owner of the company who won last year is now a judge this year. So for all of you who are participating, if you are interested in continuing to work with us, we want you to do that because this is a community. We're trying to start an i.Invest community, and that's what makes it so exciting. Now, kind of left the best at the end, which is thanking all of the judges, all the coaches, and all the mentors. Every year we have about 15 to 20 business, academic, and leaders, as well as investors that participate in scoring applications and working with youth. These are people who are very, very busy working from organizations like USDA, like Mazda, from Google, like Mike Cap, from investment firms in the Baltimore area, in the Pittsburgh area. We have people here from where I'm living now in New Orleans area that are working with us. And so we have these great groups, this great group of judges and mentors and coaches that are actually volunteering their time to work with you. And we just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you do. Okay, everybody, let's get down to it. Do we have all of our applicants on the call? We want to do a roll call here. I see Daniel. I know that Riley is on the call. Jason? Anyone else? Timothy Huffman?
I'm here.
Okay, great. Okay, great. I see everyone. We're here. We're ready to go. So, what's going to take place? Okay. So first up tonight, we have Face the Facts, followed by Software, Flow, Prep Up, Quiver House, and finally Official Clutch Band. All of the judges have a scorecard. You've either received that scorecard via Google Docs, or you have a Word document that you can complete and send to me by noon tomorrow. Applicants are asked to pitch for 5 minutes. They will not use any type of presentation devices to do so. They're going to talk to you about their product. They're going to talk to you about their goals and cover a lot of the information that's in the business plan that they had to create. Judges will follow up with 3 minutes of questions, and applicants, you can ask judges questions. Afterwards, the judges will have an opportunity to complete their scorecards. You can either submit those via the Google Doc, or like I said, send those to me tomorrow. Just make sure you answer all the questions and provide some feedback if possible. The reason why we're not announcing the winners tonight is because we want to give the judges an opportunity to give you some good feedback, and I'm going to need time to tally those scores. So I promise you, you'll find out soon who won. But as for tonight, I want you to really focus in on, just getting your pitch done and answering the questions completely. Okay? Any questions for me? Okay? Face the facts. You want to get started? We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So my name is Jason Cow. I'm the founder of Face the Facts, and we believe that we have the next most effective medium for political and environmental awareness. Basically, in the society we have today, in the nation we have today, it is difficult for a lot of people to accept claims made by politicians and the media due to an onslaught of truthful hyperbole. Even serious issues such as melting poles, the underrepresentation of minorities, the Graham-Cassidy bill, they're all doubted by a lot of people. And you have these activists that will go to the streets, try to convince others to their side, but many of their banners do not convey a meaningful message, and these slogans are incapable of convincing the other side. And it is this figurative climate in which we have created Face the Facts, real, unbiased, statistical storytelling. We produce and distribute t-shirts that carry stories in the form of graphs. These graphs are created by our own transformation and analysis of public data and are presented in a unique and artistic design. How does it work? Well, we take data from cited organizations such as the National Weather Service or the House of Commons Library. We then clean the data ourselves and process it locally. Afterwards, with an in-house design and a scalable graph engine written in JavaScript, we can create a quirky, informative shirt design and put it on a shirt. And the advantage of using our unembellished and intuitive graphical displays over using a verbal slogan on a shirt is that it at once depicts the wearer's assertion as well as the evidence that supports it. Claim and data now have become less continuous than simultaneous. We are primarily selling to activists, rally goers, their host organizations. Activists, they're independent-minded thinkers. They're not afraid to voice their opinions and directly communicate with those around them. They will buy our shirts to support the causes that they feel the most strongly for. And how do organization orders work? Well, you have an organization, they pay us money. We design shirts with their target issue and brand. And why would an organization want to come to us? Well, we can also put their brand and their sponsorship on other shirts that we have that target their core arguments, such as climate change or ocean acidification. And in doing so, we can spread the organization's reputation and fame to the people who care most about their issues. And the people who wear our shirts, they're walking around like mobile billboards. They're spreading brands and ideas for, let's say, an entire day-long rally, no doubt meeting the eyes of at least 100 people that's there. And what's in it for us? Well, our cost to make is actually only $6.85. We have a markup of 3, so retail is $99.95. And oh yeah, how do we get such a low cost to make? We are using a pre-order system with inventory from Threadbird instead of a pay-per-unit system like Printful. That gives us a net profit of $13.10 for every single shirt that we sell. Now, when people think of graphs on shirts, a lot of people think of large publication companies with online gift shops or sellers with ignorant singular statistics such as the Environmentalist, the New Yorker, and these don't really have any statistical awareness or analysis. And then think about the 1.4 million nonprofits in this nation who do not have the economies to scale to create brand awareness in such a unique way as what Face the Facts is doing. And what momentum will we have? After testing and experimentation, we realized that the optimal number of designs per every 2 weeks was 1, as it allowed us to test 3 designs in the public, and which is like going to flea markets, going on the streets, and picking the ones people felt were the most appealing. And while looking at the amount of rallies that happened every month, it was actually very surprising. There's almost 1 rally every single day. Small rallies have around 30 people attending. The large rallies, which are marches, would garner at least 500 people. And if we only attended 4 rallies a month, at 5 shirts a small rally, and let's say 30 or 40 shirts per large rally, then that would be 55 units sold per month, and that's $3,000 per month. And what would we use i.Invest money for? Our current market strategy is to use an online social media presence and our website SEO to draw users to our website. We also will go to flea markets, get on the streets, definitely in Soho and NoHo, to get the artsy, quirky, or activists that are living or squatting there. We also have a bi-weekly newsletter to the people who have already purchased our shirt. And also, the shirts are made by Threadbird, which is really high quality. This shirt is one of like our very first prototypes. It's about air pollution in the world. Sorry, the lighting is bad. I could send an image in the group chat later, but their shirts are very comfortable. And we need money for further marketing, such as in magazine ads, that we have identified as attractive for the personas in our business plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was
okay, judges. Thank you. Great job.
Thanks.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
This is Alain Briançon. Great presentation. Not a question first, but something to note. Since you can almost print your pitch on your T-shirt, let me recommend that you try to do that next time to show the audience how powerful graphics are. Why? Can you answer this to me fundamental question? You say, you're promoting the truth and so on and so forth. What would prevent you from creating a T-shirt that says, water boils at 80 Fahrenheit, that's the truth, and here's a little graphic about it?
Sure. Our graphs, the way we're selling our graphs is with the appeal that they're related to current events, and they're related to what people are talking about now, or like any long-term issues such as environmental issues. For example, right now, one of the most important issues right now are the Graham-Cassidy bill and the defense bill going through the Senate.
I understand that, but you start by saying you are providing real data, the truth. There's a lot of discussion about fake news, the truth. What would prevent you? How do I know that a T-shirt I buy from you is the truth? How do I know that looking at the T-shirt?
Yeah. Our current design right now has a source on the left bottom of the shirt. So we'll say like data from National Weather Service or data from House of Commons Library. So the citation will be there. So people don't, we don't make data up for whatever we're claiming.
So you rely on the citation as showing the world that it's the truth.
Yeah, it's real data.
Thank you.
So
thank you very much.
This is Moshe Bahar. I actually want to continue on this line of questions because I think it's really intriguing. So let's say somebody came to you and wanted 1,000 T-shirts, but the data didn't support the message that they wanted to put on the T-shirt. Mm-hmm. What is your strategy then? Do you walk away from a customer with 1,000 orders, or do we do what data scientists know to do? What is great about data is that it can be diced and sliced in many different ways. So what would happen if I came to you and wanted you to print something like Alain said, that says water boils at 85 degrees, and that's not the truth, and that it's not supported by data? What then?
Yeah, that was a morality issue that we were presented in round 2 of i.Invest, and my co-founder and I decided that something like that, a morality, ethics thing like that, would not be. Basically, we would turn you away because although it is a large sum of money and it'll help us with distribution and marketing, it's fundamentally against our mission, which is to create a thoughtful community around statistics and apparel.
Thank you.
So we're going to take some time now and score, but I forgot to do something very important, which is to allow the judges to introduce themselves. I'm a little late, so Jason, forgive me, but you did a great job. So let's start, Alan, with you, just to give your name and your title, and then we'll work up while the other judges are preparing their information.
You want me to start?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. My name is Alain Briançon. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm now on my 4th startup. My primary startup is a company called Keychology. I will be announcing next week a joint venture when I'm co-CEO of a company called Foodmeatable. And because I'm not busy enough, I'm the CTO of a company called Demsoft, which gives me the opportunity to look at a lot of different technologies and lots of different markets.
And to add on to what Alan said, and you may not remember this, Alan, but I was the executive director for the for the Invest Maryland competition, and I remember you competing in the Invest Maryland competition. So
given a lot of pitches and receiving a lot of pitches.
Absolutely. Thank you. Brian?
Sure.
So my name is Ryan McConney. I lead a social enterprise called buildmyidea.org, and my background has kind of been in engineering as well as the humanities. I serve as a teacher still. I've been kind of also part of an organization called Impact Lab that helps teachers enable them to be entrepreneurs and start their ideas in schools.
Thank you, Brian. Regina?
Sure. Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Regina Tillery. I am the Director and Chief Information Officer for the State of Maryland Department of Commerce. I'm also an entrepreneur with a technology company that provides technology solutions and support to small businesses.
Thank you, Regina. Regina and I work together when I work for the State of Maryland. I'm very happy to have her on.
Yeah, Maryland.
Yes, my name is LaToya Staten. I am the Chief Strategy Officer for Connected to Tech, which provides tech engagement strategies to companies and small governments. I'm also the Partnership Director for Steer Tech, the only licensed driverless car company in the state of Maryland.
Lots of Maryland people.
Yep.
Thank you, LaToya. Anybody else? Any other judges on the call?
Hi, I'm on the phone. This is Mojde Bahar.
Sorry.
No worries. I'm the Assistant Administrator at the Agricultural Research Service. I am a technology transfer professional and a patent attorney by trade. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Majda. Thank you. So, judges, have you had a chance to score? Are you ready to move forward?
Yes.
Okay. Software flow?
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
All right. In the peak of the presidential election, my brother created a board game called. In this game, the U.S. is in the center, and 4 immigrants from 4 corners of the board are trying to get to the U.S. surrounded a gigantic wall, and the immigrants have to go back and forth like snakes and to collect assets and education to enter the U.S. If an immigrant does not have assets in education, they can enter the U.S. in an alternative way, like legally, like tunnel or by airplane. So first, we created a physical board game. Then we created a mobile app for iOS and Android. But we realized that immigration isn't confined to the U.S. and can be seen, its crises can be seen all over the world. So we made another game called Immigrant Challenge. In this new version, the center country can be any country, not just the U.S., and we can reflect immigration crises from across the world and across history, such as the Syrian refugee crisis, one of the largest crises in decades. In this game, there's no dice. Instead, players collect cards that offer them assets or skills, or tell them to move forward or backward. This is where we can put relevant advertisements, such as taking an ESL course or providing immigration advice, etc. In general, the game could be a guidebook for life and major life events. This is one way the app will make money. We'll also make money, of course, by selling the game. So in the board game market, we'll directly sell to consumers via printing on demand options on our website and using other websites like the Game. We also plan to partner with companies like North Star to sell the product, and we're also going to sell the product to stores by attending trade shows, selling the product to schools, and collaborating with educational sites like EverFi and the ASCD. We also plan on working with political organizations like the ACLU, and we've even worked with congressmen like Jamie Raskin of Maryland. We will also use different marketing tools like media source like Facebook, etc. So in the mobile app market, we will either sell the app for $1 or earn money through advertisements. We'll also have options for players to donate to the company. Our competition includes the games Make a Move and Alliance for a Just Society, but they are static in nature and don't have mobile versions, don't have mobile apps. Our indirect competition includes existing board games and mobile games like Monopoly, Life, Risk, etc. So some of the reasons that our company will succeed is because of our social political timing. I'm going to talk about Monopoly, a game that's been around for over a century. It was originally made to demonstrate how tenants are impoverished and property owners get enriched. But today, an estimated 500 million players from around the world play it, and so many people have been mesmerized by it. In the same way, we are going to demonstrate the struggles of being an immigrant with our game. The next reason we'll be successful is because of our many appearances in the media and the topical nature of our product. For example, we were on NPR, WSA, we were on BuzzFeed where we had 144,000 views. We're also in the progress of being featured on German ZDF, and we're in contact with Washington Post. If you look at the game app and board game industries, each of them is increasing exponentially. The revenue of game apps last year was $36.5 billion, as opposed to 2020's projected $58 billion. In $52.1 million has been raised for board game creators, roughly 15% more than video game creators. Additionally, our content and different types of games. Even the CIA is utilizing board games for the role-playing of real-life scenarios. Our major goal is to bring change to the current generation of kids so that when they grow up and become the lawmakers of the future, they'll make choices informed, and they'll make good and strong choices.
Thank you. Can I get everybody to mute your phone if you're not speaking so that we don't hear what's going on in the background? Can everybody do that for me? Okay. Judges, do you have any questions?
Wait, did anything come from my side other than my voice?
No, you're fine. It was just, I didn't hear anything. I just want to make sure everybody.
A quick question and I'll go on mute. Name me, please, name for us, the name of 2 advertisers that you think will advertise on your platform, and why. 2 advertisers that will advertise on your platform.
So of course, as I addressed, people who are offering ESL courses, they could have advertisements on the platform, because our game targets people who are immigrants or looking to immigrant.
I want to be very precise in my question, and I will ask you to be very precise in your answer. Name me the name of 2 companies, not the type of companies, not what they are. 2 companies.
I think companies like Princeton Review, maybe. I think they offer books along those lines, or classes along those lines of teaching things like that. Any educational service like even SAT courses, really, or of course, College Board, companies, just educational companies in general.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Not only, sorry to continue. Not only can we have advertising for those types of things, but we can also have immigration lawyers. So I don't know any specifics off the top of my head, but general lawyers, immigration lawyers.
That's okay. When you do a pitch, don't worry. Every now and then people ask you questions you don't have the answer for. And what you observed and what we observe is the way you're thinking about it on your feet, a question you were not anticipating. And it's okay to think on your feet and not to have the answer on the tip of your tongue. Don't worry about it. You did well.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I had a question. So in terms of successes so far that have taken place, because what do you think has been the greatest success so far in this process of having the game, having all this, having it out there already for some time?
Well, for starters, only the beta version is out right now. A lot of them, we need a lot of money. We need some money to actually send out the commercial version, optimum for commercial use. I think one of the greatest feats is how we, of course, we were on BuzzFeed and worked with like media companies, stuff like that. We worked with congressmen like Jamie Raskin, Chris Van Hollen. And also how this game was it was originally for my brother. He was in 4th grade when he made it, and how probably the greatest feat of all though was how he transformed this idea that he had in his head just by watching the news. How he transformed it into a real game, a real product, and that can actually help people not only understand the struggles of immigrants, but it can help actual immigrants too.
Okay. Judge, time. Any more questions?
So this is Mojde. What is the biggest social impact? It seems like what you're doing has a huge social, political component. If you were successful, what kind of social impact would you see? And who would be most impacted by it?
So I think the people who would be most impacted by this game is kids of this generation. We want to target them so that eventually, when they grow up, they're going to be informed. When they make the laws of tomorrow, they're going to be informed and make informed decisions and make the world a better place for everyone. If you look at really, our main thing is targeting kids of this generation, and then
Thank you.
Okay, judges, let's spend some time scoring, and we'll be prepared. Regina, did you have a question?
all right.
I apologize if I didn't hear. I'm here. I just wanted to know what plans do you have if you would win as far as how would it help you as far as the game?
So, first of all, our biggest goal right now is to instead of just having a beta version of that, we actually launch a commercial version, optimum for commercial use, optimum for consumers. That's our biggest goal. And we also we want to continue working with political leaders and organizations, things like that.
Thank you.
Okay. Take a few minutes to score and prep up your next. So let's take about a minute or two. Judges, just let me know when you're done. That'll be helpful. Thank you, Daniel. Great job.
Thank you.
I love that we have kids of all ages. Daniel's 14, and Riley is 13, and it's so inspiring to see these kids put so much into creating their business. When I was their age, I was starting businesses, but there was no one to help me, so no mentorship. So, you know, it's so encouraging to see them start early because they're in such a innovation economy now, and learning technology and learning how to think through ideas and become decision makers are key to success in the future with all the technology and all the different devices that we have to learn how to use and operate and integrate into our lives. So I'm just so impressed with them, and I appreciate everything that you guys have done working with me for 6 months. And I think you guys are doing a great job. So, judges, are we done? We ready?
Ready. I'm ready.
Let's do it. Prep up.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes. Be sure to give your name and a little bit more about yourself at the beginning, if you don't mind. Okay.
Sure. My name is Akhilesh Kakkar. I'm from Brooklyn in New York City. I'm really passionate about entrepreneurship. I like the entire culture. I like that as students and as everybody else, we could pursue what we want to pursue in our passions and actually make a career out of it. So if you guys are ready, I'd like to start my pitch. Am I good to go? Awesome. Good. So what words do you think of when you hear about studying for the SAT and ACT? Like the other 4 million test takers each year, I think of boring and lifeless. My name is Akhilesh Kakkar. I'm 17 years old, and my company is PrepUp, the new SAT and ACT prep platform. 3 years ago, I suffered from a severe concussion. After a couple months of physical therapy, I returned to doing schoolwork. I found that because of my concussion, work took much longer to complete. So I researched and found that competition is one of the most effective ways of learning. Research shows that active and engaging methods of studying increase the student's understanding of the topic by 2 to 3 times. I wanted to take this information and apply it to a test that almost all high school students take, the SAT and ACT. The result was PrepUp, the new SAT and ACT prep platform. Public schools spend $1.7 billion on standardized testing. The SAT and ACT preparation industry is worth between $400 and $700 million, and there are 14 million US high school students. The PrepUp platform consists of a mobile app and a website that work with each other to provide a truly personal and engaging learning experience. The mobile app uses cognitive science research to make studying for the SAT and ACT both fun and effective. In addition to customizable practice tests and the question of the day, users compete in a live, head-to-head match in a series of multiple choice questions with their Facebook friends or anybody else on the app. PrepUp also uses artificial intelligence to learn what types of questions each user answers incorrectly. PrepUp's website then gives the students personalized practice tests and personalized lesson plans to eliminate their weaknesses. Because the entire platform is all synced to each user, PrepUp becomes incredibly personalized on a one-on-one level with each student. The PrepUp mobile app has been one of the top 5 educational apps in several countries and has been featured over Apple by 15 times, but has been featured by Apple over 15 times. Now let's get to PrepUp's revenue model. PrepUp has 2 streams of income. First is solely from the free PrepUp SAT and ACT prep app on the App Store that is out today and has been for a couple months already. So we get around 100 downloads a day, and its in-app purchases total over $2,500. And I'm going to implement advertising soon. However, I expect most of my revenue to come from the second source, which is pretty new. So I'm selling access to the full PrepUp platform, which includes the mobile app and website, to public and private high schools, as well as test prep companies. For the past month and a half, while I've been doing i.Invest with you guys, I've been working with developers to create a web platform, which I've previously talked about. It is nearly done, and I'm almost done with all of the bugs, and it should be ready to go within 1 week. So let's go to the competition. PrepUp's competition are test prep companies who actually sell to schools. So the 2 biggest competitors are Method Test Prep and Telos Test Prep. Method Test Prep offers an online SAT video course to its students. However, actually speaking to principals of several high schools, I found that they're looking for something that really makes students excited about studying, because engagement on these video courses are, as you can expect, very low. And the Telos Test Prep program offers 8 in-person tutoring sessions at the school. And while this method is pretty effective, it is not personalized for each student, and it can't be scaled to the hundreds of high schools I'd eventually like to go through across the United States. So a little bit into the financials. So I'm selling the access to the PrepUp platform for between $5 and $49 per student, depending on the size of the high school. So if it's very big, I'll go on the low end, which is around $5. And if it's very big, like the private high schools that I'm talking to in New York City, I'd charge on the $49 range. And in the first year, I'm on track to gain 3,500 new students from small private high schools, earning $59,000. And for the next 5 years, I plan on scaling rapidly because I find that once you get into one high school, all of the other ones want it as well. And hopefully in 5 years, I want to have 175,000 students out of the 14 million total U.S. high school students by selling to school districts. And I've already teamed up with another test prep company who has connections into a bunch of school districts and is willing to get me meetings with all of those. And this results in $1.6 million of revenue in that year. So I've personally spent $80,000 on developing the PrepUp app. And in case you're wondering, I made that money by creating another company called Pure New York, which is a clothing company. And I've also been a freelance app marketer, making my money while paying the developers to create it. And so more about the financials, it costs around $45 a month for hosting fees. And I really need the funding. If I win i.Invest, I'd use the funding to develop an Android version of the app, because speaking to several foreign app developers, it'll cost around $2.5 thousand to create the Android app. And this is actually very important because although the web platform is universal, certain schools and school districts will want the app to be available to Android users and not only Apple users. So if I win the i.Invest, as I said, I'll use it to create an Android app. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have any questions?
This is Alain. Rather than developing an Android app, have you looked into making your web app responsive so you could simply have a little wrapper, which costs much less? So why not making your web app responsive? Why go to Android?
Because so that's a really good idea, and I will definitely think about it. I'm sorry, are you guys receiving that beeping noise? Or is it just
No.
me? Okay, so I don't have a native app for the website because that's also being used for the Apple iTunes platform. And also the web app is really connected to my servers, and it only has the customizable practice tests and the personalized lessons for you that has the AI within it. So I want Android users to download their own ACT prep app because it will have more features. That's a good question. Thank you.
Hi, this is
Thank you.
Latoya. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, this is Latoya. I have a question. You said that the app has artificial intelligence which customizes. Have you partnered with any prep or tutoring services to be able to offer additional services once you identify a student's weakness? So you identify the weakness and refer them on. Do you have any partnerships like that?
Exactly. That's a great point that I think I mentioned, but I should have mentioned more. So I talked with Neil Test Prep, which is one of the biggest test prep companies in Florida. And we're actually working on a partnership right now. He's going through the demo of the course and he's willing to put me in touch with all the school districts within Florida that he has connections to. And he's rolling out the platform in his test prep company as well.
This is Mojda Bahar. I had a question about the new thing, the new in thing, if you will, about online test prep. Like, I don't know if you know about Free Rice, where people go and they, do SAT prep, and depending on how many rounds they complete or how many words they learn, the companies donate rice to, impoverished sections of the world. Have you thought of putting a philanthropic bend, or do you think people like Free Rice could be your competition? How would you convince somebody that's using that to come and use your services?
That's a really good idea about the nonprofit approach. I think PrepUp does bring a very community orientation to it as well, because it does offer the free PrepUp application, which is free to all students, which does have the customizable practice test. And as you said, how would you convince students to use my platform over the other free ones? Well, the answer would be mine has a lot more features, and it has the cognitive science research behind it that makes it very fun, such as the gamification, the competition, and the social aspect where they can play against their friends. But yeah, definitely in the future, I'd like to make my company a nonprofit and really just focus on getting free test prep to every single student out there, because that is a very big limitation that I found in several articles reading online, how different neighborhoods and everything, they don't have access to test prep, which really limits their scores to get into certain universities.
This is Alain again. Sorry. I was about to ask what's your AI, but you really tickle now with an interesting. Is your goal to become a nonprofit?
Actually, I think maybe I can reach my goal without becoming a nonprofit. My goal is to have prep up in the hands of as many high school students as possible while still becoming financially stable and excelling financially. So actually coming back to that, I would say that maybe not nonprofit, but I do want to reach my goal of getting prep up into the hands of as many high school students as possible while still making as much money as possible.
So that's a good thing. If I were an investor, because you're looking into a lot of cash, never tell them they're not going to be mega rich on giving you money. So that's all good.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you handled that question incredibly well, both on the nonprofit and the for-profit side. So
thank you so much.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Great job.
Great. Thank you guys so much.
Michelle, I have one question.
Okay.
Sure. Have you thought about your refresh rate as far as updating the app? How often will you be applying updates or new information?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So we launched in late April or May, I believe, and I've updated the app around 5 times because I found that it's very important to iterate and get feedback from your users so you could really create the optimal user experience as possible. So obviously I'd like to get as much feedback as I can, get as many users on it, and then update the app and continually iterate to get to the optimal stage.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you guys.
Thank you. So next up we have Hover House, but we're going to give the judges a minute or two. And anybody have any comments, any questions? At this point, the applicants, did you enjoy the process for i.Invest? That's good. That's good. That's good to hear. I know it's a lot, 6 months over the summer, having to be on calls and different things like that, but it's good to know that you guys were able to really get some good information out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So judges, thank you. Let's see. Are we okay, judges?
Well, I'm okay. Done.
Okay. Let's go, Hover House.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So my name is Riley Lee Hain. I live in the Hudson Valley, and I'm the founder of Hover House. Hover House is a pop-up events and hoverboard rental arena that can be rented out for parties and other events. We offer 10-minute lessons at the beginning of the session if the people don't know how to ride a hoverboard. They can also buy extra add-ons and packages to add games. Our mission statement is to provide high-tech teens an affordable opportunity to experience hoverboards in a safe social environment. Our target market is teens ages 13 to 18 who like high-tech experiences with social and physical aspects. Right now, we have very few competitors, and our closest competitor are laser tag arenas. Some of our other competitors are trampoline parks, which have the physical and social components, but does not have the tech. And video games have the social and technological opponents, but do not have the social, or do not have the physical. Right now, our marketing strategy would be to use Instagram and Snapchat because a lot of teens are on Instagram and Snapchat a lot more than they would be on Facebook or Twitter. On Instagram, we plan on promoting posts so more people can see them. And on Snapchat, we plan on using custom filters where we can buy a filter a few weeks in advance before the event, and then people can see that and do more research and maybe find out more about us and sign up for an event. Some of our financials, our startup cost is $70,000, which includes hoverboards, a trailer to transport hoverboards, an audio system so we can play music, safety equipment like helmets and wrist guards, and game equipment to make obstacle courses. Our first year projected revenue is $180,000, and our profit after that would be $136,000. So for social, we're planning on being a very social conscientious company by leveling technological access, and we plan on hiring teens who maybe plan on not going to college, but help them get back on that track and go to college. After contacting multiple hoverboard companies, I heard back from one, and they are willing to offer us almost a 60% discount on hoverboards. Right now, my team is my two mentors, my dad and Amy Short. And in the future, I need to hire someone who can be on site for events and run events there. I need to hire someone who can make sure we have a spot to be able to do our events and make sure everything runs smoothly. And we need someone who can fix hoverboards and other equipment if that gets broken during an event. If I win the $2,000, I plan on buying a few hoverboards to be able to start doing trial events and kind of getting the word out there. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to compete in the i.Invest competition, and I will offer.
Great job. This is Moshe. I had a question about insurance and liability. Hoverboards could be considered dangerous. So what are your plans on making sure that, if somebody gets injured, what is going to happen? How would you procure insurance? Who would be liable? And all of the legal intricacies involved in an inherently dangerous business.
Right. We have an insurance company looking at that now. We believe that on the lower end, it could cost roughly $15,000 to get everything fully insured.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
This is Alan. How would you plan on scaling the business? What would drive the scaling of the business, and what will inhibit the scaling of the business?
Our plans to scale would be to kind of have multiple trailers of roughly 25 hoverboards each, so that we can do multiple events at one time and be able to kind of just spread more geographically.
And have you given some thought about how you will avoid people stealing your hoverboard and bringing them back to their places?
Right. So the hoverboards that we have gotten a 60% discount on have an app and can be tracked and can be shut off by Bluetooth. And we will also be checking at the door.
Hi, this is Latoya. You mentioned that this is a hoverboard sort of pop-up party. So have you identified venues that are willing, or does someone request you a hoverboard party, you come to their location, you go to their location?
Right. So in our area, we have I would call it a bigger farmer's market that has a lot of people go to it. And one of our ideas for a trial event was to go there because there's a lot of people there one weekend a month, and they have an extra pavilion that's concrete and can be used.
So will you be fencing off the area when you're having the hoverboard, or would people be commingled in with the farmer's market attendees?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that question.
I said, so you mentioned having an event during a farmer's market. So is there a plan to separate people who are using the hoverboards from the general public? Is that the plan, is to have a separate area?
Yeah, the place we were looking at has a separate pavilion.
Okay. Another question about the revenue. You will be renting hoverboards, or people can sign up to attend this event in advance, correct?
Yes.
Now, will they also be required to rent the helmet and wrist guards from you at a separate cost, or is that included with their admission?
That will be included.
Okay, thank you.
Not as much a question than a suggestion. You might want to look into having an offering for corporate events, not for old folk like me. Plus, I'm too fat to go on any overboard or pair or triple overboard type of a deal. But there is something I think pretty funky with, okay, we made our sales goal this month. Let's all go have a party, open some set of rooms and what have you, and have grown-ups go crazy. That could be a nice way to scale and best spread the word.
Yeah. Thank you.
One question, Michelle. Well, actually, maybe as a comment. I'm not sure. Have you ever thought about initially when the hoverboards came out, there was a lot of negative press concerning them. Have you thought about anything to kind of counteract that? I mean, it's not much now, but to just kind of counteract the initial thoughts of the hoverboard to make sure that the experience is, a catcher, grab catcher for your audience, and that's not the first thing they think about when they think of a hoverboard.
Right. So more recently, they have passed, I would consider it maybe a law, that all batteries in hoverboards must be certified so that everybody knows that they will not spontaneously combust.
Thank you.
Okay, judges? Great job, Riley.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that at this point does not a judge and may have a question for any of the applicants? If so, give me your name and you're welcome to ask your question at this time.
I have a question. My name is Akhilesh Kakkar.
Okay, your name again?
Akhilesh.
Okay, Akhilesh, I'm sorry. I thought, okay, sorry.
So this is for Riley. I enjoyed your presentation. I was wondering how old you are. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
We can't hear you.
I'm 13.
I think she said 13. Oh, 13. So are you planning on pursuing this for your future? Are you planning to go to high school and college, or would you pursue this entrepreneurial journey with your hoverboard company?
Well, I was seeing, my plan is to kind of make this a full-time thing if it gets that big.
Mm-hmm. So if you win the i.Invest competition and the $2,000 came in, where would you raise the initial $68,000 to fund the rest of your startup costs for your company?
Well, in our area, we have a startup investment fund that I can pitch to and possibly get the money from there.
Thank you.
Okay, judges, we're ready for our final applicant.
Ready.
Did I lose Ryan? Are you still on the call?
I'm still here.
Okay, great. The final applicant is Official Clutch Band, and I think it's Timothy Huffman who will be pitching to you. Timothy, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. First of all, I just want to say good evening to everyone. My name is Timothy Huffman. I'm the founder of Official Clutch Band. We provide music, entertainment, and we're a very versatile young band from Birmingham, Alabama that takes high quality, high sound quality in music. We want to make sure that as far as just the community that whenever people hire us, we want to make sure that they have a successful occasion. And we also have a album out called Good Vibes, which is on iTunes, Spotify, and all the music distribution companies. And we pretty much supply your needs for any occasion, whether it's like a birthday party, wedding, you name it, corporate events. And also with that, we just added DJ services. So with the live band and DJ, you can get that for one reasonable price. So and like I said, we just want to make sure that, like I said, people that hire us have a successful occasion. And on the average financially, we've been I guess in 2017 we've been pretty nice on I guess having financially been doing good. We sold 300 CDs from February to July, and we've been blessed to, I guess, um, you know, just to I don't know what's the word for it. And by the social impact, we demonstrate social impact to by exposing and engaging audiences to different genres of music, such as jazz, which is a very popular genre in the world today. And we realize that, a lot of people like music, and we want to make them, satisfied as possible. And what I plan to do with the money is to buy better equipment, better supplies, and market, and especially marketing. Marketing, I know marketing is a very big part in the music business today, and I think that can really help us as far as that is concerned. And so, like I said, thank you for the opportunity. And is there any questions for everybody?
Judges?
When looking at a startup, and you heard the question asked before about nonprofit versus profit, there are startups that create a so-called lifestyle by providing some income, but it's not going to grow to become billions of dollars or what have you. And for those, it's at times difficult to find investors because they could use the money elsewhere and not get a big return. So how would you characterize where you see your band, your service going? Is this a lifestyle, or is this something that could grow much bigger? And if that is the case, how would you go about making it grow much bigger?
That's a good question, sir. How we what our future plan is to actually just grow and expand our business as far as just I guess people hiring us to where that, I guess, if I'm at one place, that I can hire other musicians at this place, and to just kind of make it like that, and just kind of just grow and expand. And as far as the marketing is concerned, and we plan on to market it more as possible, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So Timothy, I have a question for you. You say you sold 300 CDs?
Yes, ma'am. From February to.
Can you talk a little bit more about your price point? How much did it cost to create those CDs, and what exactly did you sell them for, cost-wise?
Our cost for the CDs, we sell those for $10. Online, it is $9.95, which is the music distribution that charges for the iTunes and the Spotify and everything else. Is that concerning? As far as us making the CD, it was around, I want to say three grand just to make it and to get it mastered and everything else in that matter. It did take us about around 3 grand.
Okay.
Yes,
Judges,
ma'am.
any other questions?
So your passion for your business clearly comes through. If you were to tell me what distinguishes you over a similar band that might play the same genre of music, what would you tell me?
What I would tell them is that like I said earlier, what if you I guess if a client decides to book us between this band and our band, a lot of bands, I will say this, a lot of bands do not combine the DJ and the live music entertainment, which means that at a lot of times, a lot of people hire a separate DJ for this price and a music and a live band for this price, which means that you can get all in one. And like I said, we just we're gonna make sure that the event goes well and we're 100% ready. And like I said, we give a reasonable price, better than the other band as well.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Timothy, one question. Are you concentrating in a certain geographical area for your services?
No, ma'am. Actually, we're basically concentrating. As of right now, it's Birmingham, Alabama, but we're hoping to do the southeastern region. So that's our main concentration.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Timothy.
Yes, ma'am.
So judges,
Michelle.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I had a quick question.
Okay.
Yes, I had a quick question. About the product.
Yes, ma'am.
As time goes on, we're in 2017. Are people actually hiring bands still, or are more people going with DJs, light shows, the whole shebang? Or this day and age, are people really actually hiring bands? What is the market for the clutch band?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, a lot of people do hire bands. It's a lot of venues that actually contact bands, such as like jazz venues and other people like that from in state, out of state. Yeah, a lot of people do hire bands for their events, and it is what's the word I'm looking for? It's very competitive and marketable. So. And actually, we did go to the CD Baby conference. Well, I went to the CD Baby conference, and like I said, it's a lot of people that hire bands. So yes, ma'am.
Okay. Judges, we're going to take some time and score and wrap up the pitch event. I thank everyone for attending. I think all of the applicants, you did a fantastic job. I've watched you over the last 6 months grow to learn more about business development, to look at your business differently. From just listening to each of you, I can hear where you took some of the advice that we gave you during your group sessions and during your scoring sessions with each of you in all the rounds. I don't think I mentioned this before, but the judges are not only, they're there to give them numerical scores, but they're also there to give them quite a bit of feedback. So to have the opportunity to receive feedback about your business idea from professionals, from companies like Google, from companies like Tanium Security, and all the other companies that participated is very, very valuable. And I'm glad to see that you all took the advice and you used it and you implemented that within your particular pitch. So I think our judges, again, are going to take some time and score. And I wanted to, I don't know if I mentioned this before, I may have, but we have now started a nonprofit organization, Life Skills Foundation. And what we're trying to do with Life Skills is to continue to advocate for youth and youth entrepreneurship. Part of Life Skills is a nonprofit arm for i.Invest. And so we are looking for sponsors and partners, of course. But our goal here is to continue to have local, continue to have competitions, a national competition every year, but also some local competitions within states, within cities as well. We also want to start a scholarship program for youth that are interested in business or any of the STEM programs. And we want to, here in the New Orleans area, hopefully start a youth entrepreneurship boot camp or academy where we can go in and teach kids about entrepreneurship. So just to give you a little bit of what we've been up to, what we're doing, we will have a competition next year. We're very excited about it. I encourage everyone here to get the word out, spread the word about i.Invest, wear your t-shirts, talk about it, because it's something that I feel like we can actually touch the lives of a lot of young business leaders and help them to get on the right track. So thank you all for joining us. Any questions?
Just can make one comment. And first of all, it's kind of weird because I'm on two screens because I'm afraid to press on my iPhone and something is going to blow up. It is very obvious from all of you that you've been coached, that you've listened inside. It's also very obvious that you have your own personality and you're not simply repeating what you heard. And so it's not mechanical. Some of you use the paper and you can see their eye following and others don't. And, you know, that's okay. I can tell you that if you take the sum total of all the presentations, some of you are very strong on a passion. Some of you are very, very good. This is my competition. This is my competition and my indirect competition. These are what the financials, these are the different options and so on and so forth. If you take the sum total of all of this and take the best part of all, individually, they're very good pitches but together, you cover more than most of the presentations I've seen at pitching competition and the like. I absolutely love the way some of you brought what were the events that brought you here, your personal experience, direct and indirect, the number of and bringing, this is how I would use the money. You would be amazed, and you can go on YouTube seeing old folk doing this and not covering the points the way you have in your own voices. You know, there is a song says the children of the future or something like that. I don't know what the song is. But it is so empowering and so rewarding to see the generation that hopefully pays for my Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, and all that good stuff, having so much energy and ideas. This is, for me, a very uplifting event. So I want to thank Michelle for organizing it, the other judges to kind of jump in. And also, you have to realize what you've done. It might not look like a lot, but what you've done compared to people with much more experience is awesome. And I mean, so I wanted to share that.
Thank you, Alan. That was well said. Well said. Any other comments?
This is Moshe. I second what was just said. It is basically a wonderful way to witness what can happen in 6 months or 7 months from, you know, the first business plans that we saw to here, and it is phenomenal and awe-inspiring. So thank you for the opportunity, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Majda. You've been great the whole time. Thank you so much. Well, I don't want to bid farewell to my students because I feel like we're going to continue to work together. And that's what this is about. It's a partnership. Okay, so we're going to continue to work together. But I do want to say congratulations to everyone. You did a fantastic job. And I double down on what Alan said. Mm-hmm. When we started this, it wasn't about putting words in your mouth and telling you what to say, but helping you to better understand the context for which you need to say it in. What, you know, you have a band, but how do you position that band as a business and not just as an entertainment opportunity? And so, you know, those types of things is what we were focused on. And I feel like we had a very successful year. So I look forward to continuing to work with you. I thank you all for being on the call, and just let us tally scores and we will make the announcement. But before we do that, congratulations to everyone. You all deserve to win top rank. I really do believe that. And I think our judges are going to give you some really good feedback that you can use. So good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jackson. I learned so much from this opportunity.
Thank you. That's so good to hear. Thank you. We're going to continue to work together. Take care,
for sure.
everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.